Hey, Namaste Witchlings. My face is taking a minute longer than expected, so bear with me. I will be right with you. Hello, hello, hello. Namaste Witchlings. I am just all kerfluffled this morning. Had massage therapy at god-awful early for me today, so I am totally out of whack, slightly discombobulated. So we're going to have an entertaining afternoon here, y'all. Put the earrings in, grab the lipstick, and we will be good to go. I see a Hazel, I see an Irish, I see a John. Apparently I cannot find the hole in my ear. There it is. Okay. Nice. All right. You know what? We're going to go with the glossy tart today. There we go. That just looks like I'm bleeding. Good enough for government work, right? All right, y'all. How are we doing today? Yep, close enough for government work. Ooh, there's that. Yeah, there is no government work happening right now. What am I thinking? All right. Hi, everybody. I feel abso-freaking-lutely insane this morning. I feel like I'm just running around like a chicken with my head cut off. All right. My bracelet. Oh, well. So, while we give everybody a chance to come in and get settled in, I'm going to remind everyone to please be mindful of the energy you bring into my space, and you will be respectful in my chat. If you are not, Arnold and the mods will be finding you with the banhammer.
Hasta la vista, baby.
All right, more coffee. There we go. All right. All right. Are you ready to rumble? I am. Yeah. Good God, I still have a lot of fucking hair. All right. Today's reading reminds us that clarity comes when we stop clinging to what's already ended. The Six of Cups reversed and the Magician reversed reveal that illusions are fading and truth is stepping into the light, showing us it's time to move on and trust that it is worth it. Namaste asks us to befriend the voice in our head, while self-compassion reminds us to take credit where it is due. Our moment of Zen whispers, it's always just beginning. Stay curious, stay open, and don't rush to understand. And we're back. Haha. Namaste, my witchlings. Welcome one and all to Di's Daily Divinations and Self-Care. This is where magic meets mindfulness, where we weave together the sacred spiral flow, honoring the day, listening to the cards, and caring for ourselves along the way. Welcome back, or if you are new here, hey, hi, hello, and welcome. Each day we flow with the sacred spiral. I am Di, your favorite yoga witch, and guide through that spiral. So let's step into today's together. So go grab your favorite crystal. I am playing with my heart-shaped quartz today. Cozy or light your favorite candle or incense. Cozy up with your coffee, tea, or whatever brew fills your mug, and let's step into today's spiral of wisdom and self-care together. Don't forget to do the whole like, share, and subscribe thing. It helps our Witchling circle grow, and it keeps our daily spiral turning. We do not have a birthday today. However, it does mark 7 years without my dad. All right, so today marks 7 years without my dad, and we are also lighting our candle today, sending love and healing to our Witchling John's family. So can we please send his entire family all the healing juju that you have? So, for John's family, and for my dad. As I light my candle, may our flame be a light and a beacon of hope in the darkness for those stumbling and lost along the way. I also hold our light for victims and survivors of gun violence in this country. And now, with the lighting of our candle, our sacred circle is closed, and we invite the ancestors to join us here. That goes there. There we go. Hey, Will, how are you feeling? Oh, we also are sending healing vibes and all of the good juju to Will, who is recovering from surgery from yesterday that I forgot about and I feel like shit for. With today being the anniversary of losing my dad, my brain gets glitchier than usual around this time. And now, my witchlings, Before we go diving into the cards, let's see what holidays we have. All right, today's holidays are Disabled Women's Equal Pay Day, National Canning Day, and Wear Purple for Domestic Violence Awareness Day. Because it's tomorrow, technically. I know. I thought about it. Oh, Hells, Bells, and Tinker Toys. I meant to wear purple for this. So, Disabled Women's Equal Pay Day. As a disabled woman veteran, this one hits hard. Today, we are shining a light on the pay gap that doubly impacts disabled women. A reminder that equality means accessibility, opportunity, and respect for all labor. National Canning Day. My incubator used to do a ton of canning, and it was one of my favorite things to help with. And honestly, that is a skill that I think we are going to need again very soon. National Canning Day honors this art of preservation, reminding us how community and sustainability can thrive, even in the darkest of times. And let's see, Wear Purple for Domestic Violence Awareness Day. As a survivor, I know the courage it takes to rebuild from the ashes of abuse. Today, we wear purple for every survivor still finding their strength. Domestic violence awareness means breaking the silence, standing in solidarity, and lighting the way toward healing and justice. I am wearing purple. You just can't see it. I meant to do purple eyeshadow too. See, this is my day. Uh-oh. Good to hear Will's doing all right. Echo, how to tell her you're poly. I don't know. I just kind of got dumped into a poly relationship. You do have to talk about it though. I'm trying to think. The only freaking movie or anything or TV show that I can think of that would even potentially be helpful in broaching the subject that I am aware of is Sister Wives. We don't want to do that. But maybe talk. Well, you said she's supportive of it. Say, so how we've talked about the fact that you're supportive of polyam and all. Well, does that apply to your relationships? It is a difficult topic to broach. I understand. And I also grok that it is even harder for a teenager. Ooh, damn, I wish one of my kids, one of the two younger ones was home, because they are both also poly. And I don't know how they talked about it with their partners. C'est la vie. So what are we doing today, y'all? Are we doing good? Oh, Hazel, I totally get that one. The only things I can really say about being in a polyamorous relationship: get a shared Google Calendar so everybody knows where everybody is at. Lots and lots and lots of communication, open and honest communication. Because if you are not being honest with your partner or your partners, or yourself, shit is going to get ugly real fast. Therapy is a good thing. It is not easy to find a polyam-friendly therapist, but it is possible. And communication. And make sure that everybody feels seen, everybody feels heard, and everybody is on the same page. Because as soon as one person is not on the same page as the rest, it's going to fall apart. Hey, Rena, good to see you. Mimi, I am so glad to hear things went well. Or at least the appointments went well. Have not heard from Aspen yet about the results of the MRI, but it is still early in the day for their doctors. Knowing our luck, they will not get any results until, just before the office closes. All right. How are you, Rena? I have been a practicing witch for the better part of 30 years. And this is just my thing. All right. I have a stray hair. Coffee is good. There we go. Vampy's live. All right, y'all. Move the butterfly around. Thank you, Rena. I appreciate that. Yep. Yay, Echo. Okay. Keep me in the loop, John. And pet the pupper. That's a very cute pupper. John is currently puppy sitting for his parents right now. There's a whole lot going on over there. I'm not gonna say much, just sending all the love. Gray Ace, and it's challenging to find. Yes. Yep. There's a lot going on in Idaho right now. All right. Shall we move on to the oracles? Almost said something else that the man behind the curtain would have laughed at. Our first oracle card is Inconsistencies. Oh, shit. It is Inconsistencies. There you go. Next, we have Someone Better. I love that card. And last but not least, It Is Worth It. Inconsistencies. Someone Better. It is worth it. The inconsistencies are starting to show their cracks, Witchling, and you cannot unsee them now. The universe is currently whispering that there is someone better aligned with your energy, your growth, your magic. Trust that knowing in your gut, because Spirit reminds you it is worth it. What do the tarot cards have to say here? There we go. First tarot card we have is the Six of Cups reversed. The Six of Cups reversed says we are living in the past and we need to leave behind past loves and experiences and move on toward the future. Following that is the Magician reversed. The Magician reversed says caution is needed now, for in real life the Magnus could show himself to be a confidence trickster. And then last but not least, we have the King of Rods. The King of Rods is a clever, self-made man who is talkative and determined. The Six of Cups reversed is calling you out, Witchling. You have been lingering too long in the echoes of the past. It is time to release those old loves and memories so your spirit can flow forward again. The Magician reversed comes as a warning. Not everyone or everything is what they seem. Be especially mindful of the King of Rods, that charismatic self-made talker who can charm the cauldron right off its flame. I know a few people like that. And then let's braid the Oracle and Tarot together, bringing their voices into one sacred spiral message. Ooh. The inconsistencies around you reveal truth that you can no longer ignore. The Six of Cups reversed reminds you to stop living in the past and release what no longer nourishes your spirit. The Magician reversed warns of illusion. Someone may not be what they appear, yet the King of Rods shows your strength and vision are rising. Trust that someone better awaits and know deep in your soul that it is worth it. Our affirmation for today's reading. I honor the lessons of my past without clinging to them. I see through illusion with clarity and courage, choosing only what aligns with my highest vibration. My magic is not diminished by deception. It is refined by it. I release what no longer resonates, opening my heart to new love, new truth, and new beginnings. I am worthy of what I desire, and I trust the universe to guide me toward it. What do you guys think of this reading? Let me know. There we go. Have a good one, Rena. We're here every day at the same time. We will talk soon, Rena. Echo asks if it would be better talking in person. Oh, yeah. That conversation should probably be had in person. I am so tired. All right, let's see what our Namaste and self-compassion cards have to share today. Oh, goodness. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I am moving. There we go. Namaste. Uh-oh. Hazel's saying no. All right, y'all. Namaste says. Okay. Namaste says, make friends with the voice in your head. Take a moment to make friends with the voice in your head. The best of friends listen more than they speak. So just take a while to listen to what the voice in your head is telling you. Are they nice things? Are they negative things? Just listen. Do this for 8 minutes. While doing this exercise, begin to accept the good words and put away the bad ones. Make friends with the voice in your head so that when it speaks, it will shower you with encouraging thoughts and positive emotions. Which voice? I'm sorry. That is my thought every time I pull this card. There's too many voices in my head. Self-compassion. Self-compassion tells us to rest on our laurels. No, yesterday was not rest on your laurels. It was similar. So, rest on your laurels. Think of a successful experience from your life. How do you and others deserve credit? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Yes, we had that card earlier in the week, like within the last 2 weeks. We actually finished the self-compassion cards yesterday, and I didn't realize it until I was putting it away. And so I shuffled the cards again, and this is the one that came up for today. So, tons of fun. Yep, it was like Wednesday. It was like Wednesday of last week. Yep. I hear Laurel's and I think Laurel K. Hamilton. Excellent author. Great smut. One of her series I tend to refer to as my Fae Corn. Because the entire premise of the series is upright. The entire premise of the series is you have Mary Gentry and her cousin Kel, and the whole premise is to see which one of the two of them can produce an heir faster, because whoever produces an heir faster then becomes the king or queen of the Unseelie Fae. So you tell me what a whole bunch of is happening in those books. But she does some pretty decent character building. We're going to drink more coffee. All right. Stay. Woof. As I went woof, he went woof. Love it. No, we're not on the same wavelength at all, are we? All right, my lovelies, my witchlings, my darlings. Next, we get to honor the goddess of the day. She is a divine presence to inspire, guide, and walk with us on today's spiral. And today's goddess is Isara. Oh, crap. That is not the right goddess. Shit. Wait. That is the correct goddess. Hold on, y'all. I grabbed the wrong notes again. I am not the brightest crayon in the box today. I did 2 goddesses last night and completely forgot that the one that was up on the screen was not the one I wanted. And I just did the copy and paste thing into the notes. The picture was correct. My notes were not. So bear with me, y'all. All right. Today's goddess has an interesting name. She's a Japanese goddess. All right. We are starting this section over. Next, we honor the goddess of the day, a divine presence to inspire, guide, and walk with us on today's spiral. We have Izunome Mokami, the Japanese goddess of purification. Izunome Mokami helps us cleanse the spirit and body in preparation for sacred transitions. Born of water, yet intertwined with the energy of fire, she embodies balance, the merging of stillness and transformation. Her presence calls us to wash away what clings too tightly and emerge renewed, ready for the spiritual festivals of the turning seasons. To honor her today, bathe in warm herb-infused water, pine, mint, or lemon peel, stirring widdershins while whispering Izunome Mokami, Izunome Mokami. Keep repeating her name. Let her purifying essence dissolve the Let her purifying essence dissolve the residue of guilt, grief, and exhaustion. When you rise, imagine her flame burning brightly within your heart, cleansing every shadow and illuminating your next sacred step. Can we tell Di is slightly exhausted? All right, y'all. What do you guys think of today's goddess? I like her. I think I bumped my mouse because it was sitting in the middle of my desk. All right, y'all. What do we think of her? One returned, all okay. Yay, thank goodness. All right. Are we ready for our moment of Zen, my darlings? Finally, we close our divination with... Hate it when my monitor does that. And finally, we close our divination with a moment of Zen, a teaching from the Little Book of Zen to carry into your day. We have 3 quotes today. We have one from Jakusho Kwong, one from George Saunders, and one from Nisargadatta Maharaj. Jakusho Kwong begins with, "It's always just beginning. Everything is always just beginning." George Saunders says, "Don't be afraid to be confused. Try to remain permanently confused." And then Nisargadatta Maharaj says, "Don't try to understand. It's enough if you do not misunderstand." I love that one. And that, my darlings, is our moment of Zen for today. All right. It's time, my witchlings, to wrap up for the day. Hello, Gandhi. We're good, John. Cling. Oh, there's OP. There we go. And yep, my I have a little chime. No, I'm not sleepy and exhausted at all. Okay, y'all. As we open our circle with the extinguishing of this candle, we extend our eternal gratitude to the ancestors who joined us today. All right, y'all. Before we go, a small reminder. This channel is entirely supported by the Witchling community. There are no corporate sponsors here, just magic and love. And our closing blessing. May today bring you gentle clarity, my witchling. May you see truth without bitterness and release the past without fear. As you honor your growth, may your heart stay soft, your magic steady, and your spirit open to what's next. Remember, every ending is just another beginning, and every breath is a spell of becoming. Go out and spread love, spread joy, and spread kindness. There is already enough darkness and hate. Let's try to be beacons of hope and light for those who are lost in the dark. Tell your loved ones, whether they walk on 2 legs, fly with wings, curl up with fur, or tiptoes on paws and claws, that they are absolutely precious. Moments slip away faster than we expect, and those last goodbyes often come too soon. It's been 7 years, and I'm still not ready. And always, always, always remember, witchling, you are loved. You are wanted, you are needed, and your purpose here is real, even if you haven't discovered it yet. I love you all to bits, my witchlings. Namaste. Hello! Oh my god, I just totally sounded like the one girl from Hannah Montana. Hello, Hannah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I kept it short, quick. Short, sweet, and to the point today. I am so not awake here. I am so sorry for anybody who was expecting, normal hyper-ass me. Thank you, John. I appreciate that you are keeping us in the loop. I'm just wiped. Totally forgot until like 1:45 this morning that I had that appointment and I needed to, prep before I went to bed last night because I was not going to have time to do it all this morning. So I was here prepping. Yep, I was here prepping for today's draw and all of the other stuff that I do for it. Finally crawled in bed somewhere after 3 a.m. Had to get up at 9:30 to make sure that I was up, dressed, had the dogs out to water the tree, etc., and be ready to leave the house by 9:45 because I am utterly dependent on my local door-to-door transit bus, which is awesome, by the way. It only costs $1 a ride. Absolutely love it. And most of the time it's convenient as hell. But when my appointment's at 11:15 and they're picking me up at 9:45, I'm like, oh, can I please sleep? So yeah, that was my morning. Yeah. I normally don't even crawl out of bed until 10:30 in the morning because I am a night owl who usually crawls in bed between 1 and 2. But I was, an hour or so late. I intend to get to bed around 1:30. Have I been succeeding in this lately? No. I have been crawling in bed between 2:30 and 3:30 more often than not for the last couple of months. Hello, Alan. Hello. Oh my God. I cannot decide which is more annoying, Mrs. Doubtfire or the Seinfeld voice that right at the moment I can't remember and I don't care to. But it was just as bad as Mrs. Doubtfire. Although that could also be the fact that I was never a huge Seinfeld fan. I brushed the Took monster Tuesday. Brushed the Took monster Tuesday. And I had enough fur to be able to make another sergeant out of the fur I pulled off of Tookers. It was great. And today's Wednesday. Yes, it was Monday because, yeah. And then as I'm getting ready to brush the Took monster, I realized that I had forgotten to set up a ride to an important doctor's appointment. So as the doctor's appointment is supposed to be happening, I'm calling the office and going, I forgot. I will reschedule ASAP. Thankfully, my doctor's PA and nurse is his wife, and she just laughed at me because, well, the spawn is 22, and we have been seeing this doctor since the spawn was 11 or 12. So they know our family well. So, they're really awesome people, though. Do what, huh? Yeah. Yeah. 10? 10. Oh, damn. So we've been seeing Dr. Gray for about 12 years. Yeah. Yeah, because the man behind the curtain was still sort of kind of seeing one of the other doctors in the practice, as was I. And we just accidentally, he needed a follow-up for something. I'm trying to be slightly vague. But he needed a follow-up for something. And we got in to see Dr. Gray by accident. They just randomly assigned us to him that day. And he was looking through the man behind the curtain's paperwork and going, and we're like, yeah, well, that's what Dr. So-and-so did. And he's like, okay. And we're like, he's supposed to follow up with him in a week or two. And he's like, oh, no. Follow up with me. I am taking over your care, and we are going to fix this mess. I looked at him and said, does that count? Can all of us do that? The entire family? And he's like, yes, please. I will review the records of the rest of you, but yes, please. And I tell you what, that man has been the best primary care doctor we've ever had. Yeah, he is the only reason the man behind the curtain is alive, because the other doctor, the mess that he was cleaning up damn near killed my husband. And yeah, that was more than slightly terrifying. You know what? This is just going to go back into a ponytail behind me. Oy. So, yeah, there's that. And then the other doctor, the one that created the mess, said that he had been, a chronic pain specialist prior to going back into family practice. And so, the fact that I had fibro, he was all excited about, but okay, backing up, the fact that I have fibro and I cannot take narcotics, he was all kinds of excited about, and we're like, okay, maybe he'll actually be able to do something. Yeah, he prescribed trazodone for everything. Which, if you want a painkiller that's going to relieve your pain by making you catatonic and comatose, you're great. Because trazodone is also a very high-powered sleeping medication. So, yeah, that didn't work well. He was a chronic pain, yes. And on top of all of it, I couldn't focus when I was in appointments with him, because the man looks like the actor who played the dad on Family Ties. And I was constantly distracted by that and trying to remember, A, what show I was trying to remember, and B, who the actor was. So, yeah, that was so much fun. But we stumbled into Dr. Gray's care and have been so happy, because he has done... Oh, well, I don't care. It's Dr. Gray. He was very much a specialist in being a chronic pain. And when we have talked to other doctors who were in that practice and mentioned him, they're like, oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, and he accused our doctor of overprescribing certain medications. Ugh. And when we told our doctor that, he's like, who overprescribes what? And that was all he said. Where are my damn cloths for my glasses? Because I cannot see jack diddly squat through them. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Oh, dear Lord. That name sounds familiar. But yeah, when you deal with chronic illness, when you are a spoonie and you find a doctor who actually gives a flying fluff, oh, that doctor is worth more than his weight in gold. Okay, so Spoonie, Spoonie, and we are chronic illness warriors. And the term Spoonie stems from Christine Miserandino, and her essay that she wrote eons ago about living with lupus. The spoon theory happened because she was out with a friend who should have known what it was like to live with lupus, but she asked Christine, what is it like? And in the conversation that ensued, Christine just started grabbing spoons off of the tables. They were at a coffee shop. And she gets this bouquet of spoons and says, here's your energy for the day. You have lupus. Now, what do you do when you wake up in the morning? Well, I get up, I take a shower, I get dressed. No. First, you pry your eyes open. Takes a spoon. You sit up in bed. Take a spoon. If you Google the spoon theory, you can read it. But basically, we use spoons as units of energy. Some RPGers or gamers will use spell slots as a similar thing. But basically, it acknowledges that those of us with chronic illness fight harder and more to budget our energy than people who are not. And it actually is a very convenient way when you are around people who if you say I'm tired, they're just going to kind of blow you off. But if you go, look, I am out of spoons. If we don't stop what we're doing so I can rest, somebody's getting forked. People tend to listen a little better. Or another meme I have seen is, I am all out of spoons today, so forks it is, or sporks. But yeah, it's a very convenient way to describe our community and find each other. Oi. Do we realize that the Bee Gees got their name because their first initials were all B and their last initial was G and they were brothers? Took me forever to figure that one out. Barry Gibbs was one of the brothers. Speaking of sibling bands, I did not realize, because most of us know that Cher has Chaz, right? Many of us know that Cher has Chaz. I did not realize that Cher had another child with one of the Allman Brothers, who's the surviving brother just poofed. He did eventually pass away, I believe, from an overdose, but still. I did not know that he and Cher had been in a relationship and she had another kid with him. Kind of cool. I learned a lot about Cher reading her autobiography. I am so looking forward to the second half of it coming out. And yes, John, I regularly tell people to fork off when I am spoonless. The man behind the curtain says that he has sporks. And one very, very, very badly broken spoon that is held together with chewing gum and baling wire. Nope, chewing gum and dental floss. There we go. Duct tape and some duct tape. Duct tape is like the Force. It has a light side and a dark side, and it holds the universe together. Yes, y'all are getting sleep-deprived, not caffeinated dye today. Yes. Dude. Okay, speaking of knives, I can give you the entire train of thought. Actually, I'm going to. I was scrolling through social media the other day. Cannot remember who posted it, but it was a picture of a butterfly knife. Yes, butterfly knives are really cool. I mean, they're really cool. We got to admit that. But they're also illegal as all hell here in the States. Because they are dangerous. You can't take a butterfly knife to school. You can't take a butterfly knife anywhere. Can't even sell them. That's true. I forgot. I was thinking back to when my brothers were in school and they got caught with their duck knives or buck knives. But we cannot sell these butterfly knives because they're too dangerous. But yet, we still have guns. I'm still really upset about the fact that how many years has it been since Kip Kinkle in Eugene? How many years has it been since Columbine? How many years has it been since Sandy Hook? Those of us here in the States who have compassion and two brain cells to rub together, have been calling for common sense gun control. Not restriction, not banning. We want to ban assault rifles and automatic rifles or weapons. That's all we want banned. And then we want, a little bit more restriction on weapons, right? But no, that can't happen. So we keep losing kids. But yet these people who claim to be pro-life are the ones who refuse to do it. Because apparently they're pro-life as long as she's pregnant. And they don't care about her. They just care about the fetus. And then as soon as the fetus pops out, oh, well, too bad. You shouldn't have had a baby you couldn't afford. You shouldn't have had a baby you weren't capable of taking care of. You shouldn't have had a baby. You shouldn't. Well, you know what? If you'd let me have birth control or potentially, abort the fetus before this became a problem, we wouldn't be in this situation. But no. Girls are supposed to keep their legs closed. Do you know, I'm on a rant and I somewhat apologize. Bear with me. Do you know that most teen mothers, the father of the baby is not a teenager? It is an adult man who is in his 20s or 30s, more often than not, occasionally older, but not usually. But yet, it's the teenaged girl who is being shamed and blamed for being an unwed teen mother. And abso-fucking-lutely nothing is happening to this grown man who should have known better. And there are people in Congress who want to lower the age for marriage, the legal age for marriage, to 13 and 14. These are the same assholes who want to lower the age that someone can be charged or tried as an adult for their crimes to 12 and 13. So maybe we need to lower the legal voting age to whatever the youngest age someone who has been charged with a crime and tried as an adult is. Because if we're going to try them as adults, we're going to charge them as adults, we're going to treat them as adults in our court systems, let's treat them as adults across the board. A 10-year-old girl is not old enough to be able to make the decision to, drive a car or see the doctor by herself or any of a number of things. But yet that 10-year-old girl is expected to carry a pregnancy to term and deliver it. Please make this make sense to me. Yep, he did. She is a fully formed woman at 12. As soon as she starts having her monthly cycles, she is a fully formed woman. So what the fuck does that say about these little girls who enter precocious puberty at 8 years old? Do you want a second grader carrying a pregnancy to term? Because that's what they're talking. Sorry, y'all. I'm a little frustrated right now. There's been some shit in the media and in the news lately, and I cannot I cannot wrap my mind around the fact that these people say they're pro-life, but yet they will not teach comprehensive sex ed. They will not allow birth control to be prescribed. They will not allow abortions, even, though that tends to save the mother's life in the long run. Hazel, I appreciate that. Yes, some do. But this is... It's frustrating. I will explain part of the reason I am so rabidly pro-choice is had my mother not been able to abort 6 years before I was conceived, I would not exist. Because there were complications with the pregnancy, and she was given the option, abort and be able to go on and raise the children you have and have more kids later, or carry the pregnancy to term and, you might live, you might die, the baby might live, the baby might die, we don't know. And my mother made the choice that she had 3 sons at home that needed their mom more than they needed a sibling. And then 6 years later, hi, you got a daughter. And please trust me that I am not saying that this is all pro-life people who take this particular stand. Just many of them. And so many of them like that are in Congress and in office. Hey, Mike. I'm so... And their argument about the fact that trans women just want access to women's space for to get their jollies. Meanwhile, we're looking at the man sitting in the White House who openly admitted that he would walk through the changing area of the Miss Teen USA pageant when he knew the girls were going to be changing clothes and mostly naked because he could. This is the same man who has said, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd probably be dating her. Also said, my daughter and I have, one of the things my daughter and I have in common is we're both having sex. That is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard a parent say about their child. Yes, he is disgusting. The boudoir shoot. Hey, Zen. Okay, I'm going to try and stop ranting, but I'm so... Bless you, love. Yes and no, John. I'm kind of with you there, but I'm also kind of low-key very much terrified of it happening. Because when we lose him, we end up with Shady Vance taking office. And Shady Vance is a politician. But Trump is just a power-hungry mongrel. Hit me, Mike. What do you want to know about the tarot? Whoops, wrong way. Oh, I know. Okay. All right, what are we asking today, Mike? I am totally down for the questions. I'm going to be tidying again today. Yeah. My instant thought when you ask that is no. But I don't know. Hold on. Yes. Hold on. I gotta find what I'm looking for. That is true. Ooh, that is true. Honey child. I have a feeling today's reading was talking to you. Let's scroll up and read through the whole thing. So, I'm going to reread today's reading for you, Mike. The Oracles were inconsistencies, someone better, and it is worth it. The inconsistencies are starting to show their cracks, and you cannot unsee them now. The universe is whispering that there is someone better aligned with your energy, your growth, your magic. Trust that knowing in your gut, because Spirit reminds you it is worth it. That was the Oracle cards. And then the Tarot cards. We had the Six of Cups reversed, which says we're living in the past and we need to leave behind past loves and experiences and move towards the future. Followed by the Magician reverse saying caution is needed right now because in real life the Magnus could show himself to be a confidence trickster. And the King of Rods is a clever self-made man who is talkative and determined. Pulling all three of them back together, the Six of Cups reversed is calling you out, Witchling. You have been lingering too long in the echoes of what was. It's time to release those old loves and memories so your spirit can flow forward again. The Magician reversed comes as a warning. Not everything or everyone is what they seem. Be especially mindful of that King of Rods, that charismatic self-made talker who can charm the cauldron right off its flame. And then, weaving them all back together, the inconsistencies around you reveal truth that you cannot ignore any longer. The Six of Cups reversed reminds you to stop living in the past and release what no longer nourishes that spirit. The Magician reversed warns of illusion. Someone may not be what they appear. Yet the King of Rods shows your strength and vision are writing. Trust that someone better awaits and know that deep in your soul it is worth it. And then our affirmation, and I think you need this one today. I honor the lessons of my past without clinging to them. I see through illusion with clarity and courage, choosing only what aligns with my highest vibration. My magic is not diminished by deception. It is refined by it. I release what no longer resonates, opening my heart to new love, new truth, and new beginnings. I am worthy of what I desire, and I trust the universe to guide me toward it. I hope that helps, Mike. And then Namaste. Namaste was saying to befriend the voices in our head, and self-compassion reminds you to take credit where credit is due. That is very cool, Zen. He was cute, but he's crazy. Yep. Gee, we don't know anybody like that. That is true. As the man behind the curtain points out, the question is less, will he try to come back? And more, are you going to allow him to come back? Honey, my gut is screaming, protect your peace, your mental health, and everything, because this boy is just pure, unadulterated chaos. And you don't need that shit. You got enough crazy in your life. Don't ask me how I know this. I just do. My name means red. Nice. Oh, cool. John is bringing in music. John's Spanish class is bringing in music. Yes. I'm looking for something. I want to say that's not the right bag. Apparently, I'm not supposed to use it right now. I was going to grab my pendulum and ask it. But it be hiding. Oh, that's true. It's a bad idea for me to use it right now. I'm tired enough as it is. That would put me fucking comatose for a week. So there is a very distinct reason why I only allow 3 questions when I'm using my or my pendulum. The tarot, I can read tarot all day. All day. And have no problems with energy. Put a pendulum in my hands. Okay. Zen, give me a second. It's going to be easier to show. I don't care. All right. No, I just said I was wearing purple and you couldn't see it. This, my love, is a pendulum. And this There are ways to manipulate a pendulum into doing what you want, but more often than not, all right, my little friend, show me yes. All right. Show me no. Oh, it's not going to. But see, my problem with these things, I have yet to find, I have one that will cooperate when the furry little bastard doesn't bless it first. There are multiple ways to make a pendulum if you want to. One of the most common ways that it used to be done is if you are a sewer or you have a sewing kit handy, thread a needle and then just hold the needle by the thread and say, show me yes, show me no, and then ask it yes or no questions. It's quite effective. I tend to be, so y'all have seen how accurate my cards tend to be because they resonate with somebody. My damn pendulums are worse. You are in love with the Knight of Cups. So you the dreamer. A dreamer, a creative. Yeah, I can see being in love with the Knight of Cups. And yes, John, he has not granted permission. I am trying to remember. I believe typically when someone else is reading me and they're using the practice of choosing a card for the querent, most of the time the person reading me will pull the Queen of Cups. Having grown up in the family I did Zen, mind you, my grandfather was a research chemist, sold his doctoral thesis in research chemistry to go to seminary. My train of thought was God created the amoeba. Being totally blasphemous, I could say that the Big Bang was one of two things. It was either God coming out the front or the back. I'm just saying. The earth is a divine fart. I love it. I heard my grandfather laugh at that. Exactly. So John is working on 2 to 3 hours of sleep, was in the voiceover studio today. That sounds fun, though. No, Di, you can't eat on camera, but how much have I got left? Okay. I do agree. I do agree that he was a real person. I have a number of similar stems. I am not allowed to have long nails. Definitely not allowed to have acrylic tips anymore. Because when I have long nails, I sit and drum my fingers almost non-stop. Or I click them together. I will make noises in my mouth that I used to think I was the only person could hear. Apparently the man behind the curtain can hear them because he has superhuman hearing. But I will click in my mouth in rhythm. I have double jointed toes that I will just randomly sit here and pop in rhythm. Yep. Yes, I do that one too. I've had to stop that because the man behind the curtain has misophonia, so any repetitive sounds just grate on him to the point of near homicidal maniac point. Not literally, but y'all know what I mean. It drives him insane. Yeah, fingernails on a chalkboard, drives him up a wall, and he is prone to screaming in frustration if it goes on for too long. So I have had to manage some of my stems, which is not easy. There is a reason that I have my office and he has his room. No. Echolale is not your friend. When my oldest gets particularly echolalic, I will look at him and say, Echolale is not your friend, kiddo. And he'll go, oh, sorry. And it usually curbs it. Yeah, and then about 5 minutes later, he'll start doing it again. But it will stop him for a minute until he stops focusing on it. And then it just happens again. But there are some really fun things that are just feel really good to say, like turtle burger. Turtle burger. Turtle burger. And nope, we're not going there, guys, even though it was the same conversation. It's another kind of burger, but we're not going there. Yep. Echolalia is kind of interesting. But you know what's really cruel? Who is the asshole who put the letter S in lisp? Seriously. Apparently, I'm one of the few members of the extended family who did not develop a lisp. However, if I am particularly tired, more so than I am now, I will. Hi, sweet girl. What you doing? Hello. You got the waggy tail. Sorry, Luna came to say hi. She doesn't normally come into the office. And she turned around and, oh, she is leaving. Okay. She will frequently lay in my doorway to guard me. So how many of you wonderful witchlings have popped over to the website and checked out the staff bios to see the furry children staff bios? Echolalia. Echolalia is when you repeat a word or a phrase. Such as me getting stuck repeating turtle burgers over and over and over for like 20 minutes. That is echolalia. Meep, yep. Echolalia is a very common sign of autism because, well, we autistic people like patterns and repetitive shit. So yeah. And I know the oldest has it. I know I have it. I don't think either of the other two kids have it, thankfully. Mike scripts. My oldest has certain stock answers for certain questions that when the topic comes up, he just regurgitates. That is another sign of autism. Because they love scripts. Diary of a Mom. She's a content creator I follow on Facebook. Her daughter is profoundly autistic, functioning, and able to be out in the world and does okay. But Brooke is the name she calls her by online. Brooke has scripts that she uses, typically from Blue's Clues. And hey, cat. And it took Mom years to figure out that when Brooke would repeat certain scenes from certain shows, it was her communicating something, an emotion from that sign or from that scene or whatnot. And it's kind of cool. Hey, Dad. Essential tremor. Yep. Thankfully, I don't have that, but when I was fighting my own post-COVID symptoms, I was making scrambled eggs. And, crack eggs, crack egg into bowl, toss shell, grab egg, crack egg, dump into bowl, right? Oh no. Grab egg, sit here. Okay, we need to crack the egg. Not cracking the egg. Not cracking the egg. Yeet! And my right hand would just yoink whatever I was holding. Thankfully, every time I did it, it was eggs that I would yeet, but I would inevitably yeet it into the bowl that already had some liquid egg in it, so I didn't break anything or make a huge mess. But good gods, that was so frustrating. I want to avoid meds for stuff like that for as long as I can. Did anybody else catch, speaking of tremors and conditions, did anybody else catch Colbert last night? He interviewed Michael J. Fox, which I loved the fact that he did it yesterday, because yesterday was Back to the Future Day. And Michael J. Fox has released his own memoir, Future Boy, I think is the title of it, where he talks about having done the movies. And he has Parkinson's, as many of us know. It was difficult to watch. The Parkinson's has very obviously progressed. His speech is somewhat affected. I honestly do not know if I would have been able to understand what he was saying without the closed captioning. It was hard. It is so difficult watching your childhood heroes and realizing that they really are just human. Oh, yeah. Jiminy Christmas. But it also sparked a conversation as to whether girls in my generation wanted Marty McFly or Alex P. Keaton. Or whether they wanted, Biff. If you're familiar with the movies, you know who I'm talking about. Me, I just wanted to be Doc's partner in crime. I wanted to be his sidekick because that man got up to some hijinks, my friends. I mean, come on. He made a time machine out of a frickin' steam locomotive here. Anyway. I'm geeking out again. Yeah, he was able to get it up to 88 miles an hour. How many of us remember that that's the speed that the DeLorean had to go to be able to travel in time? I almost said the TARDIS. Wrong time machine. Great Scott. Should be able to happen, Mimi. On a positive note, it'll give me a great future in cocktail making. Oh, yeah. Yup. Zen forgets to eat. Yup. Oh, that sounds fun. I have seen, there is a meme out there, and I'm trying to remember because I think there's 3 vehicles involved. But it says, the convention of time travelers. Phone booth, TARDIS, DeLorean. And I loved it. Just like, ooh, that'd be haunted. When you've got Ecto 1, Baby, and the Mystery Machine. That sounds so cool, Zen. See, Kat, I would take any of the 3. Speaking of the phone booth, does anybody but me and the man behind the curtain know what series of movies I'm referring to with the phone booth? Please tell me I am not alone here. Because that segues into the next thing I want to mention. Okay, I have not lost all hope for the future of humanity. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are doing Broadway. What show are they doing, babe? Never mind, I'll Google. I can't remember the name of it. It's a really, really, really common and popular, because I have heard a bunch of times. All right, Keanu Reeves, Alex, waiting for Godot. No, it's not Godot. Godot, that's right. Waiting for Godot. Waiting for Godot. They are doing Waiting for Godot on Broadway. And just knocking them dead. And these are two guys. They first met doing Bill and Ted and just clicked. Been best friends for years. Only that the Weeping Angels is Doctor Who's in. Boop, boop, boop. What? What are you asking, babe? What movies do you not watch, Mimi? Because Bill and Ted is comedy. Pure comedy. There's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I don't remember if there was a third one in the 80s, 90s, but they have recently come out with another Bill and Ted that they pass the torch to their daughters. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is amazing. Oh my God, it's been a while since the latest Bill and Ted came out because I watched it on the plane to Florida. And that was in March of 21. I would have to grab the barbecue bag. Yeah, March of 21. And I had been dying to see that movie. And just, it happened to be playing. I don't know if it was on one of the streaming services or what, but I got to watch it on the plane, and it was so worth it. But yes, Bill and Ted is awesome. They did homage to George Carlin in there. Oh, God, Bill and Ted Face the Music was in 2020. Okay. Matt Smith, Doctor. Yep. Fezzes are cool. We liked Matt Smith. My doctor, however, will always be David Tennant. Chris Eccleston was great. Loved him. But David Tennant was awesome. He handed it over to Matt Smith. Matt Smith handed it over to Capaldi. Capaldi handed it over to the woman whose name I cannot remember. And now we are on Shruti Gatwa, who's the black gay guy. Gets stuck in the phone booth. I'm not sure. There are a bunch of movies and things that have involved phone booths, so I'm not sure. But the phone booth movie I'm referring to, yeah, The Matrix may have. Yes, The Matrix did, which is again Keanu Reeves. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I know. I'm just pulling up. That's the movie poster for the movie we're referring to. Tom Baker was awesome. I have... Where are my little doctors? There they are. Tom Baker was the one with the scarf, correct? I'm horrible with names. I have many Funko Pops of 4 and 10. Ooh, Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice? Dude. No, I put a word between them. I did not say it all together. The OG one. Oh God, you are going to have so much fun. That is one of my top favorites. And then, God, was it last Halloween already? The Spawn took me to see the sequel. He takes me to see a lot of movies. Half the time it's a movie I want to see I want to see, and he just goes to make mom happy. About a quarter of the time it's a movie he wants to see, and I just go to make him happy. And then, there's not a whole lot of gore in that movie, honey. And then the other quarter of the time, it's movies that we both really, really, really want to see. Trying to think, what's the next? Oh, we're going to go see the the next movie we plan to see together is the second half of Wicked. And yeah, I think I was 12. Oh hell, when the hell did that movie come out? Yeah. Yeah, I was probably 10 to 12 when I saw it the first time, cuz it came out in 88 and I was 10 when it came out. I remember my brother watching it. But I do not for the life of me remember if he had me watch it with him. It's Christopher Lloyd's birthday. Sorry, y'all, I'm scrolling through IMDb while we talk. Apparently Christopher Lloyd and Jeff Goldblum share a birthday. That's kind of cool. But yeah. I had gone looking for details on Bill and Ted. Hazel, I wish that... Oh. Do you want him to do a live action remake? Or how so? Because I don't know. They could do a live action. But yes. A renewed Nightmare would be awesome. I have a song to recommend to everybody who likes Nightmare Before Christmas. I think they have done at least another one from the movie as well. But check out Voice Play, Oogie Boogie's song. Because Jeff is just the man's voice. A remake of Edward Scissorhands. So... Yup, your logo. Back to what I was saying. Who would we have play Edward Scissorhands? Oh, I know who I would suggest. And he has taken on another one of Johnny Depp's roles and, to my knowledge, done pretty well with it. So I'm going to ask who out there, who you guys think we should cast. And I am going to admit that I have not watched The Witcher yet. I kind of want to. But I have not yet. But yes, as your logo says, where are all of the Confederate statue history preservers? When the East Wing of the White House is being torn down, where are those who want to preserve the history of our country with this shit, with that going on? Yeah, I hear you, Zin. Sorry, babe. Okay, the earrings are coming out because the littles are playing with them too much. Ooh, Jared Leto. I could see that, actually. My fear is the fact that he is such a method actor. Yes, that's who I was thinking, babe. Ooh, so my suggestion, my vote is Timothée Chalamet. However, the man behind the curtain has a good one. Dan Radcliffe. I can see Dan Radcliffe pulling that one off pretty well. And he already has a working relationship with Helena Bonham Carter, which means there's a good chance he has at least a passing relationship with Tim Burton, because they were together for many years. They never married. I am jealous, John. I have not seen Requiem for a Dream to see Jared Leto. The main role I have seen Jared Leto in is the Joker. Okay, that's a bug picture I can actually handle seeing. Tom Baker, that is so freaking cool. Keanu would do a really good job, but I hate saying this, but he's too old for it. Because Edward Scissorhands is supposed to be a teenager, maybe early 20s, which is why I am thinking Dan Radcliffe or Timothée Chalamet. I think Timothée Chalamet could do a really good job of it because he has done Willy Wonka. I'll spit it out yet. So that could be kind of cool. Or Tom Hiddleston. I'm not sure. Let me look up who Benson Boone is. I am horrible with names. But let me look that one up. Oh, Michael in the landscape chat is suggesting Benson Boone. Mike Benson B-O-O. Boone. Okay. I could actually see that one. I could see that. The picture I'm looking at, he's holding an MTV VMA. That's kind of amusing. Oh, yeah! Shit. What's the title of that movie, babe? Yeah, you've never watched it. Oh, I can understand why, Zin, you're a little young for it. Is anybody out there able to pull up the name of the guy who just played Bruce Springsteen in the movie about Bruce Springsteen? I'm looking to see if I can come up with the name of that movie. Oh, no die. Is it? Yes, Jeremy Allen. Jeremy Allen White. Thank you. Jeremy Allen White, actor The Iron Claw. Oh yeah. He's even got the hair for Edward Scissorhands too. But who would play Winona Ryder's part? Dude, that could work, and that would be a way to pass the torch. I like it. In case y'all don't realize, I am a huge Johnny Depp fan. I was very much on his side through the whole Amber Heard ordeal. And that is oh gods, yes. And as a survivor of domestic violence, yeah. So Hazel is saying Jenna Ortega. Distractions is saying the Apartment 7A girl. Let me look up Apartment 7A. Apartment 7A. All right. Julia Garner. Ooh, Diane Wiest is in that too. So yeah, I can kind of see her, but no, I think Jenna Ortega. Wednesday. She's also the daughter. She's also Julia Dietz's daughter in the sequel to Beetlejuice. Yes. Oh, hello. There's a puppy butt next to my foot. But yeah, Jenna Ortega, and oh my God! So we're gonna have Johnny Depp playing the father. Why don't we cast Winona Ryder as the mother and Jenna Ortega as the love interest? That could be very, very cool. Oh, dude, instead of rebooting it, just do it the next generation. Ooh, I like it. Yep, I have never seen the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. My exposure to Johnny Depp was 21 Jump Street. Oh dear God, my dear. He's saying that the next generation of Edward Scissorhands would definitely be done via cesarean. That is so morbid and so horrible and so accurate. Yes, I agree. Stranger Things is becoming real life. Ariana Grande. Ooh. I cannot see Ariana Grande playing. Actually, thinking back, yeah, because in Edward Scissorhands, Winona Ryder was blonde. Which one? Not Chloe, the other one. Heidi? The one who's so good at impersonations? Heidi Gardner? Heidi Gardner's too old for the people that we have cast as the parents, though. Heidi Gardner would make a good mom. No, I've not seen Chocolat either. I just, like, last week added that to my watch list on one of the streamings. I do not like the idea of a 7-year-old watching South Park. That's scary. But Ariana Grande, I could actually see playing the love interest for Edward Scissorhands. She is a total and complete bitch in real life, to my understanding. I mean, the woman dissed Elvira. Who in their right mind disses the Mistress of Darkness? Surprisingly, it is not here, Zin. And I am in Seattle. Well, not technically. Y'all know what I mean. Weird. She who? Oh, God, yes. Okay. Yeah. So you're in Wales. Yeah, it rains in Wales about as much as it does here. So I went to the Gen X takeover a couple of weeks back, and one of them is Slim Sherry. Amazing woman. Love her. But 3 weeks ago now. And she comes out on stage and she's like, well, God damn it. I was told that it rains up here all the time and it's lousy and miserable and the weather is just horrid. And I've gotten 3 days of sunshine. Y'all been gaslighting us this whole time because you don't want people moving up here. Maybe. And then the day after they all left, it started raining. It was absolutely gorgeous. And they got to go see the falls that is like 15 minutes from my house. They got to go hiking on some of the really beautiful nature trails in the area. And just, ugh. And yeah. And they're all like, yeah, y'all been lying to us. However, and this was a true story. She confirmed it when she came out. The one of the 4 of them that I know the least, Kelly, they were in D.C. just before they came to Tacoma. This one is hard to say, y'all. They were in D.C. and she looked at the Washington Monument and asked if it was the Space Needle. Yeah, it's probably it, yeah, because she knew the Space Needle was in Washington. She just didn't realize it was in Seattle. So they took her to see the Space Needle when they got here. I have not seen the new Wonka. It is, again, on my watch list. I have so much media, not social media. I have so much media to catch up on. I mean, I'm trying to read a book here for you guys. I have like 3 TV shows that I am hopelessly behind on. About 5 of them I'm hopelessly behind on. 3 of them are no longer airing new episodes. I have music that I want to catch up on, and I'm just like, there are not enough hours in the day. Freddy Krueger entered John's dreams and is now in therapy. Yup. You said that yesterday, Zin. In love with Samara this year. Like the gothic visuals, but some of the themes are too Disney. I cannot necessarily disagree there. Oh, shit. Yeah, I know what movie you're talking. Yeah. I can't remember the name of it either. These are the incredibly high standards. This is me wanting to finish off the Arrowverse because I really liked the shows. And then I've got a bunch of movies to catch up on because, well, We have not really gone to the movies since the plague happened, and there have been quite a few that I want to watch. But when I have time, I sit there and I'm just like, do I want to watch it? Do I want to watch it? I want to watch it, but I just don't want to watch it right now. No, I have not, but I do adore him as an actor. Have you seen the movie Red? It has Bruce Willis, John Malkovich, Dame Helen Mirren. There it is. Hold on, I'm getting the cast. Bruce Willis, Dame Helen, Morgan Freeman. Will you quit doing that phone? Mary Louise Parker, and just so many really amazing actors. And John Malkovich is in it. And he's got this pig that he carries around with him, and just, yeah, the pig. And then they did a sequel to it. Yep. Which is, oh God, Red Dwarf. Red 2 in 2013, which has Bruce Willis, Helen Mirren. Oh, John Malkovich is in 2. Anthony Hopkins, Mary Louise Parker. I mean, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Neil McDonough. If you do not know him, he plays an amazing bad guy in so many things. David Thewlis. I mean, the whole freaking cast is just... Do what? Oh, yes. No, it's not a new movie. Red was 2010. Red 2 is 2013. Bork. But yes. I haven't done video games in so long, but I am familiar with Red Dead Redemption 2. It has some really good graphics. Yeah, I gotta be in the right mood for a movie. Another one, and I just watched this one recently, Dame Helen reminding me. It had Dame Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, an actor whose name I keep forgetting, but I should freaking know. But it's the Tuesday Murder Club, or Thursday Murder Club. Anyway, it's on one of the streaming services. And it is just this really, really hilarious movie in the long run. David Tennant plays a bad guy, gets killed off pretty early in the movie. Not a spoiler, trust me. And it's so much fun. But see, I like actors, and I will watch movies based on the actors occasionally. I like a good story. I am not a huge action movie fan, although I do love the Fast and Furious movies because I love the cars. Hi, I was that little girl in the late 80s who, when Top Gun came out and my classmates were lusting over Anthony Edwards and Tom Cruise, I wanted the Tomcat. That is so cool. I have heard that, Zen. Yeah, oh, I don't have my paint can in here. I hit my pen. He doesn't like me smoking in my office. So, but yes, I do that. If I smoke in the office, I end up smoking out the bedroom, and that ends up not being a good thing. So, yeah, so we try not to smoke in the back of the house. But yeah, let's see what else. Yep. Oh, hilariously, I have a pair of PJ pants that are very similar to this. And I tend to wear them with my Scooby-Doo t-shirt because I just thought it was appropriate. But yeah. Yeah, my nice. I wish I were. I'm probably gonna crash shortly after we finish this. I'll talk to Mimi for a bit and then go pass the fluff out, because, yeah, brain not braining. Also, hey, y'all, please, 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 I have one person registered for my Sacred Spiral Flow sessions. Can we please get more than just one of us? Because if there's more than just one person, I'm probably more likely to remember that I have to do it, which reminds me, I gotta put that in my calendar. You can sign up for that on the website under the book tab. If you're not finding it there, I have a QR code I can provide. Because, yeah, I'm getting kind of mad at myself for, forgetting that constantly. Oh, whoops. That was supposed to be... Yep, same. Ah, yes. So, also my darling witchlings. We have 98 watch hours left until I hit the first level of monetization. So, if you feel so called, pull up one of the playlists on my channel here and just let it play for a bit. Let's get that time, and then we can start actually doing a little bit more here. I am very, very, very excited about that idea. Yeah, it will unlock memberships. It will give me the opportunity to have a store here on the stream. We're also in discussions to potentially start adding... Yeah, it's Wednesday. To potentially start adding a one-card pull. If you want to have me do a reading for you, pay $5, I'll pull one card. That's what we're going to be doing. And we're also going to edit potentially the buy me a coffee, because people don't care about buying me a cup of coffee. But if I tell you that that money is going to fund giving Tooker's treats, maybe I can get you all to do something here. So, that's what we're doing. Oh, yes, Investigation Discovery is hella fun to watch. Most of my watching has been, documentaries. Woohoo! Yeah, Harris Dickinson, yes, he is kind of cute. I finally saw who you were talking about. Let's see, I want to tell you guys one of the things I've been trying to watch. My big obsessions have been the polygamy escape stories. And those have been so much fun. But let's see, there's something else. Why am I having problems? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that's my YouTube shit. I tend to listen to Am I the Asshole stories on YouTube. Yes, it does. Let's see. It shouldn't be, because of the fact most of them are very much not, but let's see. Okay, so to give you an idea of my taste, Gilmore Girls, Wednesday, Supernatural, The New Quantum Leap, Lucifer, the old TV series Touched by an Angel, because I absolutely adore Della Street, Younger, Making a Murderer, Grace and Frankie, A Series of Unfortunate Events, A Discovery of Witches, because I want to watch it for like the 5th time, Worst Roommate Ever, NCIS, Reba, because I adore Reba, Anne with an E, because one of my favorite shows when I was a kid was Anne of Green Gables, The Umbrella Academy, Lock and Key, Sullivan's Crossing. So you guys, if you have any idea what I'm talking about, you see Unsolved Mysteries, SWAT, because again, the main actor, whose name just completely escapes me right now, R.I.P.D. 2, Rise of the Damned, Charmed, the new Charmed. I have not been able to get myself to watch the new Charmed. I haven't started Mayfair Witches. I tried to read the Mayfair Witches books, but could not get into them. So I'm hoping that I can get into the series. School Spirits is another one I'm watching. Bureau of Magical Things. Cobra Kai, because I was a huge Karate Kid fan as a kid. The Connors, because I liked Roseanne, the show, not her. Ghostbusters, the Enola Holmes movies. I'm not finding the ones I want, so I give up. Yes, Shamar Moore, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have loved Shamar Moore since he was on Young and the Restless. And then, I will be honest, he is the reason I started watching Criminal Minds, because I happened to go downstairs while still living with the trolls, and they were watching Criminal Minds, and I saw him on the screen. Asked what they were watching. They told me what it was about, and I'm like, okay, cool. And did not really start watching it much, God, until we moved over here, I think. And then I watched a couple of episodes and found Garcia and Reed, and I was hooked. See, Roseanne went from being a really, really progressive person to being disgustingly uber conservative MAGA. And I don't know where that happened. But I mean, I was old enough to remember the abomination of her attempting to sing the national anthem and just, yeah, at some game. I don't even remember what game it was. But yeah, Roseanne lost her shit. The rest of the cast, though, and the stories are great. Medea is fun. I like the actor who came up with Medea. I am still an Eddie Murphy fan. I love him. Have not gotten to see the Coming to America sequel, but I have seen the newest Beverly Hills Cop. That one was fun. See, that's why I know that my generation is the one in charge right now, because all of this stuff that we enjoyed when we were kids and teenagers, they're doing new sequels and reboots of it all. And I am here for it. Because there is shit that I didn't get to see or do when I was a kid that I wanted to. Then now that it's coming back, hell yeah. But, oh man. Yeah, nostalgia cash in. Well, hello there. Okay, it was Zen. I can see what you're talking. Okay, so Mike in Landscape says it drives him crazy and we need the originality. What the fluff? There we go. Holy shit, my screen froze. But I don't disagree that we need the originality. But for some of us, the new sequels that are showing what these characters we grew up with are doing. Oh, hell, Bells and Tinker fucking Toys. No, is great. Yes, my phone said it wanted to reboot. Or my computer said it wanted to reboot. I said my phone. Oh my God, I spend too much time on my phone. Penny Dreadful is awesome. Yes. Dude. Moesha doesn't need a reboot. It needs to just come back with Moesha as mom. And another show that would be fun to bring back would be Sister Sister. Except for the fact that Tia and Tamara are not really speaking much right now. I don't remember the details. Okay. Selena was cool. But let's see. They they renewed Wizards of Waverly Place. So hey. I don't know. Technically Zennial. I'm the tail end of Gen X. My older brothers are all Gen X. But because I was born in 78 and millennials start in 80, I overlap. 80 to 82. I kind of overlap. So. Yeah, those of us who were born like 77, 78 to 82, 83 are stuck in the middle. Because while we somewhat... while we somewhat identify with Gen X and get all of what they're saying, we also very much identify with the millennials. And yes, Will, a Sliders reboot would be truly awesome. Anything with Jerry O'Connor is amazing. Oh, God, I feel old. So we have Gen X, which goes to 80. Gen Y, which is the millennials, who are 81 to 90. Nope. 81 to 96. And then 96 to 2006. Yes, is Gen Z. And then 6 to 15 is Alpha. Yes! Glad to hear that, Mimi. Roger Goodell, who is in charge of the NFL, is saying that the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show will not be reconsidered because there is a petition out there with people trying to beg for, of all people, George Strait to perform instead of Bad Bunny. George Strait, to my knowledge, has not really toured or performed live in a minute. And yeah, as much as I would enjoy watching the man, I would rather see Bad Bunny. And this is coming from a girl who grew up on country music. I still listen to country music. Granted, it's the 80s and 90s shit, but still, it's country music. Yeah. It really is distractions. They are sowing division so badly. And the worst part of it is the people who are doing this are the uber vocal, concert level loud minority. Because most of the people in this country want to work with the moderates on the other side. We can work with each other. The problem is, well, the main issues are queer issues, including trans, but the queer issues, trans issues specifically, disabled rights, and, that's pretty much it. Oh, and immigration. Because we've got a fuck ton of racists in this country, and it really makes me sad. Because we would not be the country we are without the immigrants from all over the world. And yeah, Mimi's correct. It's a distraction, and they're using the distractions to divide us. You are absolutely correct. Holy shit. Are you typing from another screen name now, babe? Because this is the same stuff you've been saying for years. I forget I don't have to yell out the door. He can hear me through the earbud. But yeah, propaganda is definitely a thing. Here's an interesting tidbit for you. Propaganda. Uh-oh. How many of us realize that Dr. Seuss wrote and animated propaganda? Craziest thing in the world to think about, but that is true. Can't remember if it was Stan Lee or his partner in crime at Marvel also did propaganda. Oh, I can reach into the back of my throat and play with my tonsils too. But I have a very strong gag reflex. It just depends on where in the back of my throat I touch. I used to fight tonsilliths on a regular. And I would, yeah, you don't want to know. I'm going to go way too graphic because I am a very, very, very gross and disgusting person. Yep. Okay, so distractions from power. It was Stanley. Thank you, Will. You're a doll. Yep. I don't want to ask too specific, but age range on your distractions? I have a feeling you're about mine or the hubby's age, if not older. No. Millennial is Mike Stevens. Did I miss Son of a Seabiscuit? Did I miss that up here? Because I was... Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Yeah, no. Wait. Okay. Yep, my age. I'm mid to late. Hell, I've already said I was born in 78. Do the math. I am approaching 50 faster than I want to admit. Oh, but yeah, so you get it. You grew up with us and, are you American? Well, are you from the States or are you overseas? Before my next... I can't remember. I know they're in here all the time. I just can't remember. Because basically you grew up during the Reagan era and had to deal with the stupid shit here. And it's... But yeah. Gerbil. We're doing good. Meow. I haven't done that in a while. Uh-oh. Pescadios. Yep. Yeah, you are absolutely correct there. Distractions. He says he doesn't believe that many of them, but the shit is scary without a good understanding of spiritual stuff. And when it comes to spiritual stuff, it doesn't mean just the woo-woo witchy spiritual shit. We also need a very good grasp and understanding of Christianity as well. So that we can fight back at these people who quote Bible verses at us or say that this country was founded on Christianity. This country was founded with the foundational thing being a separation of church and state because they were escaping a power-mad fucking dictatorial king who controlled the masses via national religion. Oh, long story behind that, Mimi. It goes back to the colonialism. We think we're superior to everybody, so we're assholes to everybody. Yes, we spawned into the Christian game, so there are forces in the Bible that can be used. If you are interested in learning from someone how to do that, I cannot recommend Monty Mater enough. She grew up white Christian nationalist. She went to a Christian high school. She went to a biblically based college that required her to do Bible studies to graduate, and she decided to do her Bible studies in Israel. So she went to Bethlehem and all of that shit and knows her shit. And then she came home. Her father wanted her to become a lawyer, was pushing her into that track. She was, you know, she was not exactly the ideal of the white Christian nationalist movement because, well, she's a woman, but she has the brains. And so Daddy encouraged her to go become a lawyer so that she could fight for what he wanted. And I think she has said that he eventually was going to encourage her to go become president. Some shit like that. But this woman is doing the deconstructing. She leads Bible studies. Even though she is no longer Christian, she leads Bible studies so that people who are using the Bible as a weapon can be... We can fight fire with fire. Okay. Sorry, I just got a message that I kind of... There we go. There we go. Hello. Science makes more sense. Yes. Jesus was not trying to start a religion. Jesus was trying to, well, Jesus was trying to start a revolution, not a religion. I believe that the Bible is similar to Aesop's fables. They are parables that we are to learn from. That is why that's why all of your Christians say that the Bible teaches you your morality. And I have but yep. But the thing is, the people who are out there saying that if you're not Christian, then how do you live a moral life? How do you keep yourself from doing bad things? If you need the Bible and your religion to keep you from acting on those baser, more vile impulses, you got a problem. Because it's not the lack of religion that's the problem here. It's the fact that you require it to keep you in line. Some of us are capable of being good people simply because we want to be good people. I mean, come on. How many of the Bible-thumping conservative Christians out there are the ones who beat into our heads when we were kids, do unto others, do unto others, do unto others? How many of us, when we were teenagers, ran around with the fucking bracelets that said WWJD, what would Jesus do? Y'all hammered into our heads that this was how we were supposed to look at our lives, how we were supposed to live our lives. You know, feed the poor, or feed the hungry, clothe and house the poor, care for those who are, less fortunate than I. And then we turn around and do this because it's what you told us to do from the time before we can remember. And now you're telling us that we're wrong? That we should hate those people because they're the way they are, the color of their skin, or poor, or sick, or whatever, or homeless. We're supposed to hate them for these things that are often out of their control, when you are the ones who told us as kids, what would Jesus do? You are the people that Jesus would be flipping tables at. You are the ones that Jesus would be chasing from the temples with a fucking whip in his hand. You are the ones who are not going to be getting into heaven anytime soon, because it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. Exactly, Zen. And then they bombed the people, and they have to dehumanize them to be able to do it. Oh, they're not even, they're monsters. They're rats. They're animals. They're plague. They're this. They're that. They're poison. Yes, he was a great example of white Christian nationalist. But I don't get it. I want to get it, but I don't get it. I don't understand why, after years and years and years of beating into us as children the 10 Commandments, and then teaching us what would Jesus do, and then telling us love your neighbor as yourself, do unto others as you would have done unto you, and all of this, why, when we are now living by what we were taught, are we being told that we're the ones in the wrong, that we're the ones who are snowflakes and soft-hearted, and we need to be tougher, and these people are criminals, and please make it make sense. I don't get it. Why today? Why are more people Christ-like who are not Christians, have not set foot in a church in decades, than people who sit in the pews 6 times a week? Why are most of the witches and the pagans and the Buddhists and the Muslims and the Hindus, why are they so much more Christ-like? than the fucking Christians I see every day. Please make this one make sense. Why am I wrong for caring about my fellow human beings? Why am I wrong for saying, love is something to celebrate? Love is love. Why am I the one who is wrong because I have empathy? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are we punished for doing exactly what we were taught? Mimi, you are absolutely correct. You have no reason to apologize here, sweetheart. Thank you, Lindsay. I'm guessing this is your first time here, Lindsay. I don't normally rant quite this much on politics and shit, but it's been really heavy on my heart. And, yeah. Doing the right thing, getting persecuted for it. Yes. And it's so hard and it's so painful. Since Lindsay's new, I'll give a little background. I grew up in the Episcopal Church. My grandfather was a priest who sold his research chemistry doctoral thesis to go to seminary. So I grew up with a scientist who had become a priest as my grandfather. Loved him, miss him. He was my person. He was also a submarine line officer in World War II. The original Antifa. Thank you very much. And I grew up in the church, and then Grandpa swore me into the Navy. I met people whose beliefs aligned with mine and the beliefs of mine that didn't agree with the church. Found out that they were pagan. And have a good one, Hazel. Found out they were pagan. Called my grandpa in a panic. And essentially got told, you go live your life. We're going to be fine. And set my feet on this path and have not deviated for 30 years. Almost. It'll be 30 years in March. So the state of my country right now is very much bothering me. Am I having fun? Yes, sometimes. When I'm not ranting about politics. You happen to come into the after show. We're about to wrap up, but we start this at 1:30 Seattle time in the afternoon, and I read tarot cards, oracle cards. I do a couple of self-care cards and a goddess, and then afterwards we just go into chit chat where I get to talk with my witchlings. That's what I call my followers, and just have a good time. And that's what I'm here for. I want to spread love, joy, kindness, and hope. Oh, cool. Okay. I will get slightly more detailed. I'm in Snow Valley. He is actually learning some of the witchier stuff. John is. You happen to stumble in. Cool. You happen to stumble in when I've only got a couple of my mods here. This is very much a family business. I am also a yoga instructor, a life coach, and an ordained minister, and a coffee addict. Lindsay, if you are interested in witchy stuff, I am not going to be there. I don't have a car to get there this weekend, but you're up in Burlington, so it might be a smidge bit of a drive to get to Kirkland, but it's not. Is it Juanita Beach? Is it Juanita Beach? No, it's Marina Park. Marina Park in Kirkland. On this Sunday, the 26th, will be the Pacific Northwest Witches Market event. There's going to be a bonfire, and there's going to be all sorts of fun stuff. The website is pnwwitchesmarket.com. You'll be able to get the information about the show or about the festival. There's not much else on the website right now because they're prepping for this weekend, but Great, great event. They have tarot readers. Hi, I've been there twice now. And all sorts of vendors with all sorts of fun stuff. Oh, you are a Reiki master. Yay. My soul sister is a Reiki master as well. She's also one of my business partners. She tends to pop in, but it's the end of festival season down in California. Not sure what she's up to. I haven't heard from her in a few days. You're very welcome, Lindsay. No, duh, you can't eat the yogurt. But I'm also, as you can see from the rainbow above me, we are a queer-friendly space. Oh yeah. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, my mic. I keep forgetting that we put this on the mic. Same. I'm so glad you popped in and you're in my area. So 1:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. Sundays we have just coffee and cues, which is basically what we're doing here. Got a couple of podcasts, so come on back. No, we are not finishing that line from the song. Shut up, you guys. I'm also a multiple. Come on back if you want to try it. I said no. I think you are correct, distractions. But yeah. All right, y'all. We are at 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I need to get the puppers out for their pre-dinner walkies so that they can, do their thing and then refill. Love to see you again, Lindsay. So go out. Thank you for the subscription. All right, my witchlings, go out now and spread love, spread joy, and spread kindness. There's already enough darkness and hate. Let's please try to be beacons of light and hope for those lost in the dark. Go out and touch some grass. It's a necessity. Tell your loved ones, whether they walk on two legs, fly with wings, curl up with fur, glide on scales, or tiptoe on paws and claws, that they are precious. Moments slip away faster than we expect, and those last goodbyes often come far too soon. It's been 7 years for me, for one, and I still am not ready. And please, my witchlings, always, always, always remember, you are loved, you are wanted, and you are needed, and you do have a purpose here. It is real, even if you haven't figured out what it is yet. I was 45 before I did. I love you guys to bits. Namaste, witchlings.